Welcome to this edition of Insider Secrets, the weekly podcast that turns real estate investing goals into reality. Each show, we interview guests who are seasoned real estate professionals, actively closing and managing real estate deals. Mike is the founder of My Core Intentions and would like to help you make your real estate investing dreams a reality. Mike coaches you to buy investment real estate, creating short-term cash flow and long-term wealth. Your host and real estate coach, Mike Morawski, has more than 30 years of real estate investing and property management experience. Here's your host, Mike.
Hey, everybody. Good afternoon and welcome back. It is Mike, your host of Insider Secrets. I am super excited. Today is episode 100. Insider Secrets has been brought to you by My Core Intentions. We keep dropping great information, but today I am really excited and honored to have Dave Meltzer on our show. Before getting into anything, we're going to dive right into who Dave is because I want to get going. Dave, you want to say hi real quick to everybody?
So excited to be here. Wanted to congratulate you. I've been honored so many different times. What an esteemed honor to be here. The 100th guest, the 100th show. What a milestone of consistent, persistent behavior to help other people. Just wanted to honor you and say thank you for having me here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Really glad that we've had the opportunity to meet and share a little bit. And it's awesome because I've really had an opportunity to learn a few things from you too. And I think that's what this is all about, right? Is we give back and forth and we learn from each other. Anyhow, Dave Meltzer, he's the co-founder of Sports One Marketing and formerly served as the CEO of the well-known Lee Steinberg Sports and Entertainment Agency. That's the company that inspired the movie Jerry Maguire, for anybody who might remember that. Dave's been recognized by Variety magazine as the Sports Humanitarian of the Year and awarded the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. He's been the executive producer of Bloomberg's Amazon Prime TV series, The 2-Minute Drill and Office Hours. I love this. His life's mission is to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. This simple yet powerful mission has led him on an incredible journey to prove one thing: value in all his content and communication. That's exactly what you're going to receive today. As part of this mission, for 20 years, he's been providing free weekly trainings to empower others to be happy. Hey, Dave, welcome to Insider Secrets.
I am excited to be here. Can't wait to share them.
One question I ask all my guests at the beginning of the show, same question. One word, what drives you personally and professionally?
Kindness.
This is 100th episode, and I don't think anybody's ever said kindness. That's a place that I love to live. 2 words, love and kindness. Dave, tell us a little bit about your backstory. How'd you get to this place?
Yeah, I don't think they'd hire you to be a sports agent of the most notable sports agency in the world if kindness was your moniker, although I learned a lot about it working there. I lived in 3 worlds in my life. In the first world is the one I was born into. It's a world of not enough. My dad left when I was 5. My mom struggled to empower 6 children, 5 boys and a girl, by working 2 jobs as a 2nd grade teacher, packing our dinner in a country squire station wagon in a paper bag and filling up turnstiles at convenience stores with greeting cards just so we could eat. In my mind, the world was victimizing me. I didn't think it was fair. I didn't have enough food or education and money. I was super happy because I had this extraordinary family, but I always was living in liability, blame, shame, justification. Every time there's a financial problem, tears in my house. So I grew up wanting to be rich and thought my worth was going to be how much my bank account said. I was driven, as my siblings were in academics, I was driven by money. I wanted to buy my mom a house and a car. I wanted to solve the one piece of happiness that was missing from my life: money. Out of law school, I took a job in the internet, despite my mom telling me the internet's a fad in 1992, that I was going to lose everything if I didn't use my law degree. Just so you know, just because someone loves you doesn't mean they give you good advice. My mom loves me too much, but that was horrible advice. The internet's pretty big, so I don't listen to her when she tells me cryptos doesn't work either. 9 months out of law school, though, I was a millionaire. And I moved from the world of not enough to what I call the world of just enough for me. I was an optimist, or even what I call a toptimist. I looked for the light, the love, and the lessons and everything, but money still drove me. There was going to be enough for me. 3 years after I started working, we He exited to Thomson Reuters for $3.4 billion. By the time I was 30 years old, I was a multimillionaire, married to my dream girl from the 4th grade. I had everything I ever dreamed of, except for I lived in this world of just enough for me, and I was buying things to be happy. I'd buy different things if I was unhappy. I'd buy more things if I was unhappy. I'd buy things to impress people. I'd even buy things, Mike, to impress people that I didn't even like. I call this world a scarce world, an unhappy world. And that's what was the catalyst for me losing all the blessings that I was given as a young man by my mother, all the different values that I had learned and built multi-million-dollar empire, a happy wife, a happy life. I even had 3 daughters. I ended up being the CEO of Lee Steinberg, this great sports agency. So not only was I a multimillionaire, I had access to everything billionaires could afford to have access to. I hung around Joe Montana and Warren Moon and Steve Young and Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis. I had backstage, anywhere, locker room access. I had things that nobody had. And that was the bottom of my life because I had lost the 4 things that I had built this empire on, which are 4 things that I didn't realize I needed to build the empire. I thought I just needed monetary talent. I just needed that money. That's what created the greatest paradigm shift in my life when I realized and hit rock bottom because I lost my values. And thanks to a few people in my life, they brought forth the truth and made me confront who I was and what I wanted to be.
I think people chase this dream of real estate and chase the dream of money, and it's elusive, right? It just slips through your hands, doesn't it?
Especially in real estate. I lost over $100 million, primarily in real estate. I own a golf course in Ski Mountain, 33 homes in San Diego alone, multifamily properties. So it's extremely elusive in real estate because of the nature of real estate, where you have a down payment, the financing of the property based on asset-based lending. It's an interesting strategy that I think is a lot different than if you were investing in something different that didn't let you leverage not only the money, but the laws of America in your favor, especially in 2008, when they were giving that money away to anyone.
That elusiveness, I think people chase it for the happiness. You're saying you chased all that for happiness too, but at some point you realized that wasn't going to make you happy. We all have those turning points in our life. And for you, what was yours?
There's 3 things that happened very quickly. My father, when I was 30, gave me a warning shot. He gave me a birthday present for the first time in 20 years. He had left when I was 5. So he gave me a jacket with no pockets. And instead of receiving the jacket for what it was, which was a message that money doesn't buy happiness, that you can't take anything with you when you're gone, he had suggested to hang it in my closet to remind myself every day that money would not buy me happiness. I wouldn't be the richest man in the cemetery, then not to make the mistakes that he made. Now, at 30 years old, I wasn't ready to hear that. So I told him to F off. I was nothing like him. He was a liar, a cheater, a manipulator. Second time, 6 years later, the next red flag was my best friend, Rob, who was the boy in 4th grade who I asked my wife in the 6th grade to go study with me. We've been friends that long. I invited him to the Masters, private jet, back cabin, everything. He said, no, I don't like who you hang out with. I don't like what you're doing, and I don't like what you're becoming. I don't want to be a part of it. The turning point came 2 weeks after that when I lied to my wife. I went to the Grammy Awards with a famous rapper named Little John. I told her I had a business meeting. She had told me not to go because I wasn't paying attention to my family and I was drinking and partying way too much. I came home at 5:30 in the morning, completely blindsided in my perspective. My wife told me she wasn't happy. She told me she was leaving me. She told me I better take stock in who I was and what I wanted to become, or I was going to end up dead. It took me a little while to let that sink in. I wasn't happy when she told me, but when I finally woke up the next morning thinking about what divorce lawyer to take her money and happiness away, it was that jacket and my wife's words that saved my life. Because as I was literally calling the lawyer to figure out how I was going to take advantage of this situation and blame, shame, and justification, that jacket sitting in my closet, I hadn't seen it in years. I don't know where it came from or how I caught my eye, but I just broke down in tears. I realized, man, I'm the liar. I'm the cheater. I'm the manipulator, the overseller, the back end seller. I don't hate my father. I don't hate my wife. I hated myself. 16 years later, here I am with more money, more happiness, more health, and more wealth than I've ever dreamed of, more worthiness inside of me by shifting the paradigm that day in my life over a lot of hard work, personal development, a lot of progress and practice. I now can tell you that I spend minutes and moments in that ego-based consciousness of scarcity instead of days, weeks, months, and years self-sabotaging my own worth, my own health, wealth, and worthiness.
Wow. Had no idea we were going here, but I'm glad we are. Well, there's a lot of people that need to hear this message. You're at this place where you're broke down. It's like driving a car and all of a sudden you need a tow truck. So what was your tow truck that showed up?
Faith. Ironically, I'm not a very religious person. My family's very religious. Instead of thinking that I had to go get healthy, wealthy, worthy, and happy, I have faith of two things. One, there's something bigger than me, an omniscient, all-powerful source that's bigger than me. Two, that source cares more about me than I care about my own children. As much as I want for my children, I do to my children, protect my children, promote my children, I have limited capacity because I'm human. But once I had faith that every mistake, setback, failure, pain in my life was for my protection, was for my promotion, not for my punishment, that pain itself was just an indicator that I was moving in the wrong direction. I had a lesson to learn. And it was this source, this omniscient, all powerful being saying, hey, the only way human beings learn to not put their hand in the fire is you slap the hand of a 3-year-old so he doesn't put his hand in the fire. The 3-year-old thinks he's being punished when you're protecting and promoting him. The same thing happens when you lose over $100 million or your wife threatens to leave you or you get an illness, some sort of setback or obstacle. All I think about is I have faith. There's something bigger than me who cares more about me than I care about my own children. So why create worry, stress, anxiety, fear? Let's just go ahead and have faith and do my best, learn lessons and have fun. That's worked for me. And I help empower in my lifetime. I'm going to empower over 1 billion people to make money, help people and have fun, to be happy, utilizing this shift in the paradigm.
You had to run at this thing pretty hard to get to where you're at today, because that's no small feat. Well, Dave, I got to ask, what'd you put your faith in? You said I didn't believe in God. So all of a sudden, what was it in?
God. It was in God. It was this radical humility that I've been working so hard. I had a desire that I must be what I can be. I felt like I may have always been blessed, but I did it myself. When I realized all I had to do was, instead of trying to go get healthy, go get happy, go get wealthy, or to be worthy, because I gave everything I had, for me, it shifted to, I already am happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy. What am I doing to interfere with it? Because like I said, there's this omniscient God, this all-powerful God who cares more about me than I care about my children. What do I have to worry about? I got to figure out what I'm doing to interfere with what he's trying to give to me. I see that as a father, it helped me as well, that we create resistance, and what we resist persists.
So when you and I met, we met in a park on a summer night in Chicago. You stood in the middle of this park, had a group of people around you. We had a couple conversations, but I asked a couple questions. One of the questions I asked you was, what do you see as the biggest challenges in the world today, COVID aside?
Yeah, there's 3 things that I think we are challenged with. One, we have to understand we're in control of our mindset. Beyond trying to change the way we think or change the way we see things, we first have to have the recognition that we're in charge of our mindset. Until somebody believes that they have control of their own mindset, it's very difficult to change their mindset. If you can't change the way you look at things, the things you look at will never change. So I try to help inspire people that you're in control of your mindset, that you can find the light, the love, and the lessons and everything, that you can manifest what you desire from possibility to probability to perspective. The second thing is, you're in control of your heart set. A lot of people are cerebral and very pragmatic, and I know I'm controlling in my discipline and strategy, but they have no control of the way they feel. So other people control the way they feel. They allow comparison to rob their joy. which is a common thing through social media. We allow separation to occur. And what we have to realize is I have control of my mind and I have control of my heart, the way I feel. I get to choose how I feel about what you say. I can be angry or I can be happy, regardless of the content that you say. I'm in charge of my feelings. And then lastly, we're in control of our handset, our mindset, our heart set, and our handset. The biggest problem with the handset is most people are depreciating themselves by an old adage that says, the more I give, the more I receive. The bigger problem in the world is actually the distinguishment of humility. People think that giving away everything is humble. I don't believe that. I believe that you should appreciate what you have. So if you appreciate what you had, it adds value to it. It expands. You then can only know what you have or acknowledge what you have by giving it away. You acquire the knowledge of what you have by giving it away. What remains is a bigger vessel, a bigger space. Now, this is where everyone falls down with their handset because you need to receive. You can't give what you don't have. You ask me how you lose $100 million in real estate. I'll tell you, don't ask for help. That's a good way to lose all your money because I didn't ask anybody for help. If I would have asked a banker, a financer, a real estate guru, a golf owner, whatever, for help, I'd triple my money. I could have just leveraged the situational knowledge, but I didn't ask for help. See, if you don't ask for help, what happens is you leave an empty space. And this is what happened to my mom. She's such a giver that she gave her health, her wealth, and her knowledge to everyone, second graders, Sunday school kids, her 6 children, her community, her 15 grandchildren. And slowly but surely, as she gets to be 80 years old, she doesn't have any health or wealth. Now she has to rely on everyone else, which is the exact opposite of what her mission in life was. So I'm here to tell you, appreciate what you have. Don't take for granted what other people are wishing for. Expand it, acknowledge it, and give it away. But most importantly, have the handset to ask for help. Receive. Feel good about receiving. Nobody feels bad when they're giving, so make someone else feel good by letting them give to you. I'm telling you, the mindset, the heart set, and the handset, if you're in control of it, our whole society, collective consciousness will change.
Man, that's crazy. That's good stuff, Dave. If people could just grasp that and live it out, just start to live out some of these principles, I think people's lives would change. I know mine has, yours has. You and I are both great examples of all this success and all this loss that we've had. Now, here we are living proof that there's a different way. Here's what I like about you. You're a huge thought leader. You're respected among your peers. You're respected among other people. I stood in that park that night and I just watched people just melt into you and absorb what you had to say. Some of the things that you talked about were gratitude, kindness, happiness, fear, and giving to others. Those were probably the 5 biggest things. But as a thought leader, talk about gratitude.
As a thought leader, gratitude's so powerful. In fact, I tell people all the time, if you want to change your life, I have the easiest, cheapest, fastest way to do it. It's to say thank you before you go to bed and when you wake up. Do it for 30 straight days. I guarantee you a quantitative value, a quantitative difference in your life. Not only do I say this, but all the thought leaders that you mentioned, the Bob Proctors, the Jack Canfield, the Oprah Winfreys, the whoever it is out there, they all agree with me that gratitude is the most powerful thing in the world. The ability to find the light, the love, and the lessons, the ability to appreciate everything. Gratitude is a superpower. It takes 0.1 seconds to think or say. It's free. Here's the saddest thing. By tonight, half the people listening will not say thank you.
Yeah.
By tomorrow morning, another half of the audience will not say thank you. Within 3 days, almost all of us will not say thank you. Now, I have studied physics, quantum physics, and metaphysics. I have talked to the world thought leaders and read the greatest texts in the world, religious and historical. All somewhere in it tell you gratitude is the superpower. It's the best way to change your life, to be grateful. And guess what? Despite that, we get in our own way and we forget to say thank you. It took me 9 months, Mike, 9 months to say thank you before I went to bed and when I woke up for 30 straight days. I made it a mission. We talk about creating interference between us and the omniscient, all-powerful God. That's how much interference that we create, that we're so afraid that gratitude and love actually work and kindness actually work, that we'll do everything. Even if it takes 0.1 seconds and it's free, we'll do everything in our human power not to get it done, to get in our own way. It's amazing to me.
Yeah. Interesting. My sister, she's 5 years younger than me, and she's just not real happy. And so I've expressed this to her. Write 3 to 5 things down every day. I have been on her for 2 months. She's finally doing it now. And I'm starting to see a little bit of change in her voice. It's just amazing how this stuff happens. But how do you make high stake decisions, high stress decisions in your life today? I'm sure it's different than you did when you were in that Jerry Maguire environment and all that was going on.
Yeah, of course. So I wrote a book called Game Time Decision Making that talks about the way that we prioritize and make decisions. The first thing that we need to do to make our decisions is take inventory of what we want. See, most people don't take the time to think about, this is what I want today, personally, experientially, giving wise, productivity wise, receiving wise. If you take inventory every day, this is what I want in those 4 aspects, then think about, who can I help with what I want? And most importantly, who can help me with what I want? Then how best to get it done, utilizing time, discipline, strategy, productivity, accessibility, gratitude, all these different techniques. Then if you know your what, your who, and your how, it's easy to determine what's important to you. You have stable data, non-negotiable data. So when anything arises in your life, you're able to prioritize. And that's all decision making is, prioritizing one thing over another. It's a matter of priority. Should I spend an extra hour at the office or go home and have dinner with my family? Matter of priority. Should I say yes to this business opportunity, even though I know this person is dishonest and I can make $1 billion? That's a priority. So in order to make efficient, effective, and statistically successful decisions, you need to know your what, your who, and your how. Then you will know your now. What this process does, these 5 daily practices that I created for people, it allows me to apply my why. No longer, once again, am I in search of what I already have. No longer am I trying to go find my why. I know what I want, who I can help, who can help me, how to get it done, and prioritize what I'm doing now. I apply my why to it, which creates inspiration and keeps me in the flow to not only receive more, but to give more as well.
Here's what I know. I know that for the next few days, that the top 3 things on my gratitude list are going to be this interview with you, because I've learned more in a few minutes than I've learned in years. I'm honored, extremely honored, as we're winding down here. 3 questions I like to ask everybody. You get around a lot. You travel a lot. You've seen a lot of things. Best tourist attraction?
Wow. I wasn't expecting that one. I've been to so many. I have to tell you that the best tourist attraction may be in my backyard. The Masters in Disneyland, to me, I've been so many times, right? Over 25 years to the Masters, over 50 years to Disneyland. Every time I'm about to go into either, I say to myself, oh, I don't need to go. I'll give someone my ticket or whatever. The minute I walk in, it's the best place on earth. Like they say, there is none other. So I'm going to put a childhood Disneyland tourist attraction and an adult Augusta National Masters attraction.
Awesome. Best restaurant you've ever eaten at?
Oh, wow. You're killing me because I travel so much. Best restaurant I've ever eaten at. Wow. God, I'm searching because there's so many good ones. I'm going to have to say, once again, my favorite restaurant is Mastro's. Tillman Fertitta wrote the foreword of my book. I'm going to give him a big plug. But the Ocean Club at Mastro's in Newport Beach, that's my kind of food, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I've been there. Love that.
That's not counting the residential superior food I get at home from my mom.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about our moms next time. Then the best book you've ever read?
Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. That's easy.
Yeah, I got a copy right here. Dave, how do people get a hold of you if they want to touch base with you, if they want to reach out, connect with you? I know that you have a great coaching platform. You have some great opportunities out there. Tell people how they reach out to you and get a hold of you.
The best way is 2 ways. One, email me. And for your audience, for the anniversary, this 100th anniversary, anyone that emails me, david@dmeltzer.com, I will sign a copy of my book. I will pay for the book and shipping. I'll pay for everything. Email me. I'll send you a signed copy of my book in honor of the 100th episode.
Well, that's awesome. Listeners, you heard it from Dave. He said, email him and he'll send you a signed copy of his book, which is an awesome book. You need to get your hands on it. Dave, I'm honored. My 100th episode. I couldn't have asked for a better guest. I appreciate you so much. Looks like you're getting ready for a football game behind you there.
This is my office, podcast studio, and suite at SoFi Stadium. This is not a green screen. You can reach right through there.
Nice. No shadow. I love that. Hey, thank you very much, listeners. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you listen to it more than once and take some notes. See you guys soon.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you for joining us for another great episode of Insider Secrets. As always, Insider Secrets is brought to you by My Core Intentions. Wherever you hang out on social media, you will find Mike and My Core Intentions. Please like and follow us to get the most up-to-date real estate investing trends. Visit mycoreintentions.com, where you can get expert coaching on all things real estate investing and property management. If you're looking to become an expert, Mike's coaching will help you scale your real estate investment business. We're looking forward to having you back again next week for more Insider Secrets.